Hi, I'm Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and this is the handover of the 2020 VW Revolution Ricos camper van. So starting the walk round on the driver's side of the vehicle, just underneath the side skirt here, just behind the driver's door, you'll see the location of the exhaust outlet for your diesel heater, and there's also a grey little pipe here which is your waste. So this is your whatever you've drained down the sink, you'd put a bucket or a waste master underneath here to catch the waste water. At the top here you do have your freshwater intake, so this is where you get a hose pipe and put a hose pipe into here and fill your waste water, your fresh water, sorry, which is about between 15 and 20 litres. And then at the back, this is your mains connection point, so you'd hook the vehicle up like so, and then when you unhook, press the blue clip to unhook the vehicle, but always hook the vehicle first, then the power source, and do it in reverse when unhooking the vehicle. At the back of the vehicle you do have reversing sensors and a bike rack, so Fiamma bike rack, so you've got two bikes you can carry on this rack. So you can move these depending on how long your wheels are. Put your wheels on here, these through the spokes to tie the wheels down onto the rail, and then second and first bike through the crossbars. And then what I would advise is that you put some sort of bike lock around your bikes and around the rack, so if you do leave the vehicle unattended, your bikes aren't going to go missing. Coming down to the passenger side of the vehicle, beside the passenger door is the location of your diesel, so you'd fill with diesel fuel here, and below, because it's a new Euro 6D compliant engine, you do have AdBlue, so you can either buy it in the drums or you can buy it in the pump. It'll indicate on the dash when it needs it, and simply top it up as soon as the light comes on, because if you fail to not do that, the vehicle can go into limp mode and fail to start. If you need to turn the passenger airbag off for any reason, you'd put your key in here and you can turn it on and off with the key on the side of the dashboard. And then if we just have a look, the bonnet release is just underneath the driver's side. It's just on the side here, so you'd pull this to release the bonnet. It's on gas struts. Got your brake fluid, your engine oil, filler and your dipstick for checking your levels, screen wash, coolant, and then you've got your battery there, so you've got your positive and your negative if you ever need to give a jump start. If you want weights, towing weights, there's a sticker at the back here, so it's 2,800 gross vehicle weight. If you were to put a tow bar on and tow with this vehicle, you can tow up to a train weight, which is whatever you're towing, and the vehicle can't exceed 4.9 tonne. So at the back of the vehicle, you do have the back of the bed, which can fold down. There's a lever just in the corner here, so you can use it as a parcel shelf like so. You can sit on this and put your boots on if you're going out for a walk, or it's a nice day and you're on the edge of a beach somewhere. Or you can press it, the lever in, push it up, and you've got a large boot area. You'll notice you've got your freestanding table which clips on to the rail, and in here you do have your power supply unit. So this is your EC55 power supply unit, so you've got all your trips on mains electric this side, and on this side you do have your 12-volt fuses, which are all listed below what does what, so it would be a good idea to carry some spare blade fuses with you. This model, which is an extra, is fitted with a solar panel, a flexi panel on the pop top, so that's your solar panel regulator. So green means the batteries are charged. And then down here you do have your battery to battery charger, which charges your leisure battery when the vehicle is running, and vice versa when it's on hookup. For your gas is located just down in the bottom here. So behind this panel there's a gas box, so you just release the lid and you'll see a Camping Gas 907 gas bottle. This is our test bottle. You will have to get one of these. So what you need to do is you need to spin the bottle till it starts to bite onto the regulator, which is the bottle top regulator. You've got a black toggle here which you can turn on and off, which is to turn the gas on and off, so turn it off when you travel. And there's a strap, so make sure that the bottle is securely fastened in, and it'll stop this from moving when you are on the road. So once you're inside the vehicle, in the kitchen area there is your 12 volt control panel. So if you're hooked up, you'll have mains to 40 volt and these plugs will work. If you're not hooked up, you will just have 12 volt off your leisure battery. So you turn the vehicle on and off via your master switch, which is this one in the far left hand corner. Then pressing L will view the reading of your leisure battery. Pressing V will show the reading of your vehicle battery. You always want to make sure it's on battery L, because you don't want to drain the vehicle battery off, and you always want to run the motorhome off your leisure battery. You've got your pump here, so putting your pump on will pressurize the flow of water to your kitchen sink. And then you've got your switch for your lights, which turns your lights on and off. Twin USB, and then above, as it's fitted with the diesel heating system, this is your diesel heater, so you press and you've got heating. So it can go heating mode, 30 degrees, and it'll start blowing there. And you can go heating ventilation, 30 degrees, and then you can turn on the timer. So at the bottom it shows you the time. This is how long it will run until it turns off. And if you did want to change the ventilation, if you didn't think it was strong enough, what you can do is you can turn it up here, so you'll see that the ventilation goes all the way up. Or if you're away in the colder months and you wanted to sleep with the diesel heater on, you can turn it down so the fan's not as loud. So you've got your ventilation this side, and then heating. Where you would just press and then turn your timer on for how long you want the heating to run. And you can adjust this, so say it's about to finish, you can just adjust it by turning the wheel to set the heater to run again. But always make sure with your diesel heater that you do have a quarter of a tank of diesel or more in the main tank, as they're on different levels, and this is so it doesn't drain the diesel off when you're away for a week and you haven't moved the van and you've had the heater on constantly in the winter months. There will still be enough diesel in the main tank to start the engine. And once your heating's running, just in the top here, if you keep scrolling, you'll see off. You would just press enter and it'll switch off the diesel heater. In the kitchen area you do have two gas burners which work off your gas bottle, and you've got your tap, which is just a cold water feed only, and then that'll drain off to that waste pipe. So just make sure you've got a container of some sort underneath there, as some sites won't let you drain off directly onto their pitch unless you're on a super site. You've got your grill, handy storage underneath, and you've got your gas taps which are here, so any problems with gas you can isolate the appliance that you think is faulty. But these are mainly for when the vehicle is annually habitation serviced. Any problems with gas, turn the bottle off to be safe. your 12 volt Dometic fridge. So to operate your 12 volt fridge, just inside on the left hand side you've got this control panel. So you press the first button, which will turn on the fridge, and it's a compressor fridge, so it runs off your leisure battery. And then you've got, the bigger the snowflake gets, the stronger the temperature. So that is at full temperature now. When you've got a small freezer box, when you are finished with the fridge and you're not using the fridge and you've cleaned it out, but you're still going to be using the vehicle, as some people do drive these daily as they are a small enough vehicle, as long as you've cleaned your fridge out, if you just turn this here to vent, what it does is it keeps the fridge door open, so air circulation still goes in and out, and it'll stop any mold or bacteria from growing in your fridge. If you did shut the door, this is when you will get the smells and the mold starting to grow, because you're trapping the air within the unit. So to make your rib bed up, there's a lever here. Then pop your hand down the centre of the base cushion and pull it forward as you're pulling the lever, and flip the base cushion upside down. You'll also notice when you do this, you've got storage under here which you can access via the doors on the front of the base, and you've also got your freshwater tank. So if you ever needed to be into it, you can take the cap off there, clean the tank out if you wish. And then there's another lever, which is here. So you've got your centre bar, that you lift up and tip the backrest down, and then finally the lever at the back you pop that down, and there you have a double bed made out of the rock and roll framework of the seat. Above in the pop top you've got your bed board here, so if you want extra height you'd push it up, pull it down, and then the mattress that's in the back rolled up would roll out on here, and then you'll be able to put your bedding and so on, but always make sure you take your bedding and your pillows out when you're storing the roof down, so it doesn't break or adjust any of the bracket systems for the roof. And this strap here, you just clip that off when you want to use it, clip it on just to keep the pressure of the canvas at the back nipped tight before you put it down, to stop it from getting trapped. But I'll show you how you put your roof down, but always make sure that you take all your bedding off the top of the mattress. So to put your pop top roof down, first of all pull the bedboard down, and then what you'll need to do is you'll need to grab a handle each. So pull it down. It's always best that you open the door first to release the pressure. Release the pressure so it makes pulling the roof down a lot easier. And then what you need to do is pull the sides in, pull the front in before closing the roof fully. So pull it all in, tuck it up like that, pull it down, and then you'd use your straps put them through here, through there, open the clip, slide it through the clip and untighten, bring it right in, tighten it up, and then with the excess strap just do a couple of loops round the back, and you do that for both, and then just have a walk outside and make sure none of the canvas is trapped before travelling off. But always make sure these are on as to hold the roof down. So now in the cab, so on the door you do have your button so that you can lock the doors on the top. You've got your driver and passenger electric windows, sorry. Mirror adjustment, so right and left. And then what you can do is you can turn to heat them in the winter, or you can turn to fold them, and then you just leave them and they'll just tuck themselves away. And then as soon as you move back to the top, the mirrors will start to come back down. Lock the cab, so that one just locks the back of the vehicle, this one locks everything. Turns your traction control off, which you see anti-slip relief, ASR will come up as. The lights, so I would just leave them on auto if I was you, and then they'll come on with the sensor when it gets dark, or you go through a dark area, they'll come on. But if you wanted to manually put your side lights on, you can do, and then you can put your main lights on here. Pulling it out, it'll turn on the front, the rear fog lights, which is just this one here. Headlight adjustment, which is this little bar here, so you've got 1 to 3 to adjust the headlights. Wipers, indicators, and your high beam. On here, it'll go through this screen here, so it tells you your range, your average consumption in miles per gallon, your oil temperature. When the engine's warm, it'll tell you how hot the oil is. You'll get a speed warning, so you can set this in the settings, so if you go over a certain speed, it'll tell you. You've got a digital speedometer, you've got an average speed, you've got a distance covered, so from resetting the trip computer, so if you wanted to see how many miles it is going one way and then coming back the other, you can do. You've got the time it's taking you to drive, and you've got your AdBlue range. So on here it's telling you that at present you've got 4,000 miles before your AdBlue needs to be topped up, but I would say that would be 3,500, so 3,500 before it gives you a light to top up. By using these you can scroll through, and then you can go left and right and you'll get the different settings. So you've got telephone, audio, assistance, driver data, which we were in before, and that's all in there. You've got voice command, which is this one here, skips the tracks, volume this side, and then you've got your cruise control, which you would just set. Resume if you had to cancel it by knocking it off with a brake or here, so you can resume it to the last speed set, and you can set it by pressing down here. This is just because it's got the new cruise control where it does the distance with the cars. So if there's a vehicle in front, it's adaptive cruise control, that's what it's called. So what it does is, if the vehicle in front speeds up and then starts slowing down, the cruise control, you won't have to knock the cruise control off. The cruise control will just gain a bigger drop back from that vehicle when it's slowing down, and just slightly drop the speed but still keep the cruise control on. Heated windscreen, so it's great in the winter. If you're driving, it'll take about 30 seconds to a minute to clear the windscreen if it was frozen. Your distribution, your fan speed, and your temperature, and then you've got air conditioning and recirculation here. Hazards, button for your parking sensors, so you can turn them on here, but they'll automatically come on in reverse and forward if you were to get too close to something, as it has got front sensors. And then you can turn off your start stop if you don't want it, but remember your start stop will only work if the engine battery has enough charge in it. So if it's been standing for a couple of weeks and you wonder why it's not working straight away, it's because the battery needs a good run first, or you may have items on that it's taking too much consumption out of the battery for the stop start to work, such as the heating, the wipers, the air conditioning. And above you've got your radio, so you've got FM AM radio here, so you can press 1 to 6 to save your favourite channel, 6 to 10 saves them. Station list, you can scroll through stations, so you've got Tyne and Wear ones, which are our local stations, national, BBC national and D1 national, so you can find your favourite channel on DAB and save them here. You can go to menu at the bottom and you've got your telephone, so you can connect your phone by going settings, Bluetooth. You can view all your paired devices, or you can search for devices. So you want to find Bluetooth on your phone, go into your settings and wait until you find VW pop up. Press pair, it'll come up on here. Press pair, it'll ask you if you want to allow your contacts to be saved and downloaded into here. Just press allow, and then people's names and numbers will come up instead of just numbers if they're not saved. So you would be searching for VW Bluetooth 943 on this particular vehicle. Data, so you can go into vehicle and you can view your data. So 55 mile left in the fuel tank, so the fuel is telling you that the light's on, which it is. How many miles you've covered, how long it's taken you, your miles per gallon and your average speed. That's all in there. So if you wanted to see what you've been doing, you can do that. And then since refueling, long term, and then since start, so you can view your trip. You've got a couple of trip computers on here, so you can view your different trips. Settings, all your language, all your date and time, your screen. If you ever need to do a factory reset, you can do. Media, obviously it can be an SD, it can be USB, but the USB on the new transporters is USB-C, so you will have to buy an adapter to plug into a conventional USB unless you buy a USB-C lead. And you do have the beauty of Apple CarPlay on these, so if you connect an Android Auto, so you can connect through here via a wire and it will come up. So Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, MirrorLink, all through there on app. Phone's a shortcut for your phone, and then you've got voice command, which is on the voice. Lockable glove box, and then you've got some handy storage spaces and cup holders on both sides, and one in there with a 12 volt point for a charger or a sat nav if you weren't using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So to spin your double cab seat, so you've got 2 of these at the back and 2 of these at the front. So you'd unscrew them. Always make sure that they're screwed in and it's tight for travel, and then unscrew them. There's a pin on the top of the bolt, so you just turn that up to sit on this bracket here. So do that on all 4. Put the vehicle into gear and remove, or should I say remove and release the handbrake by just releasing the handbrake off. Push it forward, turn it round all the way, and then all you need to do is as easy as that, and the seat has turned. And then you would just push it back onto the base, you just get the position right, and then just screw the bolts back in before you start driving, as it has to be turned. It can't be backwards facing, it's got to be forward facing when travelling, as you can't see the mirror on the passenger side of the vehicle and it's against the law. Tighten these in until they're tight, and then continue to do the two on the front of the vehicle before you start travelling.